What are essential leadership style, and are those essential leadership style pushing you forward with the right mindset for success? Today, I want us to take a really deep dive into mindset for success and the kind of leadership style that can complement your effort, your desires, your dreams and hopes and aspirations to position yourself for financial greatness or success in whatever field you have in mind. So, today, to join me in this conversation, I have one of my colleagues, and his name is no other than Clement Frank. Now, Clement Frank, in the event that you're reaching him for the first time, seeing him for the first time, and you're wondering who is Clement Frank, well, he is an economist by profession. He is also a leader, and he is soon to be releasing his new book. Frank, how are you, my friend?
Great to be here.
Welcome.
Great to be here.
Welcome. Now, without delay, I want to jump into the subject of discussion. Today, we're discussing essential leadership style and mindset for success. Well, I do believe that there is many leadership styles that we have in the world today. And we can talk about autocratic leadership, which is one of the leadership style that is has been popularized over many years. You have the autocratic leadership style, and you have democratic, you have paternalistic, and all of which are our leadership style. Which one is more essential? I would not sit here to tell you that one is more superior than the other, but what I will say to you is that in business and in life, you need to learn all of these styles and to know how to integrate them into your day-to-day life. I want to also put another leadership concept on the table, and that is a leadership concept that we have designed, and we call this leadership style proactive leadership. Now, what exactly is proactive leadership? Proactive leadership is a type of leadership that really helps you to build a foundation around three important concepts. One is, as a proactive leader, you must be trained to think ahead. As a proactive leader, you must be trained to see beyond problems. Many person get stuck in the problem zone. As a proactive leader, you must be trained to take informed action. Now, there's a major difference between taking action and informed action. But these are essential leadership styles that you need to know when you want to position yourself for greatness. Now, let's come to the second part of this program, which is looking at mindset for success. And I just want to spend a little time talking about mindset for success. What exactly is mindset for success? Now, we have been researching the term success for quite some time, and it may be surprising to you, really should not be surprising to you, when I say that everyone that you ask this question to, what is success, they struggle very often to define what is success. And some of the content that they may present is that success is different for everyone. Yes, that may be quite so, but regardless of success being different for everyone, I believe it is necessary to be able to contextualize what success really is. All right. So let me attempt to bring some context to what success is. And I'm taking this information from a thesis and the book that we have developed. The thesis is called The Art and Science of Success. And this is what it actually says is that we look at success in three different levels. One is what we call small and average success. And you want to be able to contextualize this. Now, what is small and average success? Perhaps with time, I'm going to go into that later on. So you have that. That's one context of what success is. There's a second level success, and this is what we call the mid level success. And you need to be able to contextualize this. And then third, this is what we call level 3 success. It's what we call large and major accomplishments. And you need to contextualize this, because the last thing that you want is to say success is equal across the board. It's not. For the sake of understanding what it is, for the sake of putting some context to what it is, you need to understand what success really is. Now that I've established that, I want to push the discussion forward by introducing you to some important concepts. So now that you have defined success, there's a couple of things that I want you to focus on. Today, I want to spend some time talking about not small and average success, not mid-level success, but I want to talk a little bit about some major accomplishment. It may be major to some, it may be not major to others. But one of the essential leadership style and habits that you need to form is to have value that people value. All right. And I want this to soak in a little bit. You need to have value that people value. Now, in this context, what I'm saying is that you need to have tangible assets that people value. In the context of saying having value that people value, to contextualize this properly, we're saying that you need to have tangible assets. And that can come in the form of transportation services. That can come in the form of real estate services. Whatever it is, and we will clearly define this when you come to some of our programs to really help you to understand how to be a leader that have value that people value. Let me explain, the objective of looking at this. There's so many people in the world today that wants to accomplish success, and they don't have a blueprint to attract success. And what I'm saying to you that one of the blueprint to attract success is to have value that people value. And let me put it this way. Everyone on this sky, or let us say 99.9% of the people under the sky, they need a comfortable place to rest their head, to lay their head. So when you have value, for example, real estate, they value that. And because you have millions, billions of people across the world valuing what you have, it sets you up for success. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be the easiest thing for the average person to arrive at having value that people value. But I'm going to talk you through this to ensure that you have the kind of information that can push you forward. All right. Let us begin to just examine this a little bit. So I'm saying to you that when you want to position yourself for financial greatness as a leader, when you want to position yourself for greatness, you need to have value that people value. But let us suppose that you're starting at rock bottom.
Since yesterday, without saying.
Yeah, you haven't started to, let us say, earn to save, save to invest, and invest to build wealth. You haven't started that process. How do you reach the point to have value that people value? Now, the first thing I want to say in this regard is that you need to start that process. If you follow our program yesterday, I say that you work to earn, you earn to save, you save to invest, you invest to build wealth. So you want to start that process if you haven't started. And yes, it's going to take you quite some time to accumulate wealth, to accumulate your savings, to now go have value in the context of real estate to start to position yourself to build wealth. But is there a faster way to do this? And I'm going to share that with you. All right. And these are essential leadership styles and leadership habits that you want to have. They say wealth is a mindset and poverty is a mindset. You are right where you are because you don't have the mindset for success. You just don't have the mindset for success. So let me help you now to start shaping what we are calling the mindset for success. So you are not stuck in the problem zone. Remember, I said early on, we train leaders to think ahead. We train leaders to see beyond problems, and we train leaders to take informed action to achieve desired results. How can you apply this body of knowledge to you wanting to accomplish success? And the success that you want to accomplish in this context is having value that people value. It's going to take a lot of money to have value that people value. So the first step is you have to start working, you have to start earning, you have to start saving, you have to start investing and develop that mindset to build wealth. To get there faster, there are a couple of strategies that you can deploy. For example, there's a concept that we call collaborative economies. So instead of you going about this, me, myself, and I, you can go about this collaborative economy. So you have group economics to your advantage. You have multiple colleagues, might be family, might be friends, might be strangers, but you pitch your value offer to them and you pitch as well, and they buy into your idea. All right. And the way that may look is that you have an income producing asset that has the potential to generate, let us say, $10 million annually. All right. But when you look at that income producing asset and you take out what we call the PITI, which is the principal and interest, tax, and insurance, I don't want to get complex here today, but when you take out your PITI, guess what? You see that you have perhaps a 60% profit margin. And when you say to your team that, hey, you're going to allocate, it may be 35% of the profit margin to them, and you keep, the other percentage, guess what? 25% you gain. But the reality here is that because you have the group dynamics, instead of you waiting 5-10 years to accomplish that piece of asset, having value that people value, in a short period of time, depending on your negotiation skills, your people skills, and that kind of stuff, you can achieve all of this in a month, 2 months, 3 months. All right. But now you have an income producing asset, you have value that people value that is cash flowing. So these are essential leadership style that you want to look at. And don't only look at this in the theory. All right. We're now rolling out programs where we look at success in 3 contexts. One, we ask ourselves, what is the science saying about success? You need to know the science of success. Many of you, you're going after success and it's barely speculation. I want this to happen, but what is the science saying about success? All right. Do you have the right theory? You need to have your theory. Your theory is your game plan, but your game plan should be based on some science. It should be based on some science. And then you have the practice. You see, it doesn't make sense to know the science and know the theory, but then you're not applying yourself the way you ought to apply yourself to attain success. And here is where we talk again about essential leadership style. All right. Here is where the essential leadership style comes in. And here is where the mindset for success comes in. So I'm going to pause here for now, and I'm going to hand over to Master Frank, who is an expert in leadership. And I'm certain that he will give you a number of tips and tricks and hacks to apply leadership to accomplish more in business and in life. Frank, all to you, my friend.
All right. Thank you very much, Gary. And to you listeners, good morning. And I want to just zone in on thought leadership. And I saying thought leadership because it's one of the books I'm writing. And it refers to the practice of individuals or organizations establishing themselves as authorities or experts within their industry or field by consistently sharing valuable insights, innovative ideas, and expertise. And thought leaders are recognized for their deep knowledge, unique perspectives, and ability to influence and shape discussions and trends within their respective domains. And here are some key aspects of the thought leadership. The first one is expertise. Now, you are in your specific position because that's your expert area. So the expertise is that the thought leaders, they possess a high level of expertise and knowledge in their area of focus. They have often spent years gaining experience, conducting research, working in their field, which enables them to offer valuable insights and perspectives. So they become the authority on what they offer. They are original. So originality is another aspect of thought leaders, and they are known for their original and innovative ideas. They often challenge conventional thinking, and they introduce new concepts or offer fresh interpretations of existing knowledge. And their ability to think creatively and outside the box sets them apart, and as such, they attract followers and admirers. Of course, they're visible. Thought leaders requires a proactive approach to sharing ideas and insights with a wider audience. This can involve writing articles like we do, blogs or books, speaking at conferences or events, participating in interviews or podcasts, or engaging on social media platforms. Consistent visibility helps the thought leaders to build we call a reputation, and as such, they will attract followers. And this is what comes to their influential characteristic. They have influence. They have the ability to influence opinions, to influence attitudes and behaviors within their industry or community. And their ideas resonate with others and inspire action and shape conversations and trends. So the thought leader here, because their influence often serve as trusted advisors to mentors, to those seeking guidance or expertise. And then they have impact. How has this program impacted you? The program by itself cannot impact you. It needs the thought leader behind it to do that. And so thought leadership goes beyond just a mere influence. It drives meaningful change and contributes to the advancement of knowledge and a practice within a particular field. And thought leaders may introduce new best practices, solutions to challenges, or paradigms that reshape how people think and how they act. Then they're authentic. You see, authenticity is a crucial aspect of any thought leader because they are genuine in their beliefs, they're genuine in their values and their actions. So they build trust and credibility by being transparent, by being honest, and consistent in the messaging and behavior. So overall, the thought leadership is about more than just sharing knowledge. It's about driving innovation. It's about fostering dialogue and making a positive impact within a specific domain. And thought leaders play a crucial role in shaping the future of their industries and communities through their insights, their influence, and their expertise. Over to you, Gary.
All right, thanks for that, share, Frank. You have dropped a number of nuggets that I like that really help the public to understand the characteristics of a thought leader. And I want to thank you for making that share. Now, what I want to do is to help the audience to understand a little bit more about the thesis that I'm speaking from. We have recently developed the Pathway 5, and Pathway 5 is a very, very unique platform of learning. Pathway 5 really helps you to understand what we call the science, the theory, and practice of wealth creation. So there are 5 paths that you need to learn, apply, and master. I'm speaking early on from pathway 1, but let me explain just a little bit. I'm going to go through these 5 pathways just a little bit to help you to understand some of what you're going to be getting when you become part of our community. So pathway 1, you learn what we call the science, theory, and practice of preparation. So you want to be successful in business. You want to be successful in wealth creation. You want to be successful in life. What does preparation looks like in each of these contexts? Now, what we have seen is that if you are not able to apply the science, the theory, and practice to preparation, the possibility exists that you're really not prepared for success. And because you are not prepared well enough for success, you're going to be undermined. All of your efforts are going to be. So this pathway 1 does, it really helps you to understand how to prepare yourself to be successful in business, how to prepare yourself to be successful in wealth creation, and how to prepare yourself to be successful in life. So if you want to be successful, I want to encourage you to reach out to us. We will be so happy to expose you to the content of information that we are having and which we have developed just for you. Let's talk briefly about Pathway 2. Pathway 2 helps you to understand what is the science, the theory, and practice of application. Because it doesn't make any sense at all to prepare yourself for success and all you have is the preparation. It's like you developing your business strategic plan, and what you do from there, you put it on the shelf. And what happens when it goes on the shelf? It becomes cobweb, all right, or cobweb start to form around it. So what does the science of application says to you? What does what does the theory of application says to you? What does the practice of application says to you? So when we talk of applying yourself after success, what is the data saying? Now, if you don't have the right data in terms of how you're going to apply yourself to accomplish success, you're going to undermine your efforts to be successful. And let me bring this home in a business context. So you want to start a business. You're fully prepared for that business. To be prepared, you need to understand the essential human, technical, and capital resources that you need to move your business vision forward. So let's say you get ground 1 right, pathway 1 right. We come to now pathway 2, application. When we say application, what exactly are we saying? You see, you apply yourself in business because you want to break through the know, like, and trust. And if you don't break through the know, like, and trust, you're going to struggle in business. All right. You will struggle in business. To apply yourself in business, you need to address the visibility factor. The visibility factor has everything to do with how you're applying yourself to integrate your content objectively and strategically into mass media platforms. Because it is by integrating your content into mass media platforms is what's going to help you to get visibility. I've seen so many good products fall through the crack, not because the products are not good, but because the product is not visible. And it is not visible because you do not know the science, the theory, and the practice of application. So pathway 5 will really help you to understand how to build out your application ecosystem from a scientific standpoint, proven facts, from the theory, the right theory, and practice. There's some people you want visibility, but your attitude towards visibility does not reflect essential leadership style and essential leadership habits. So we are looking at the factor, the data that is causing so many millions of businesses that are starting and are failing. And what we are doing, we are not just looking at the data to say these are the reasons why. We're tabling the solutions because we want you to be successful in business, in wealth creation, and in your life. But we push this further. Pathway 3 is going to really help you to understand the science, the theory, the practice of multiple and sustainable income stream. And let me talk about this just a little bit. So let us suppose you get pathway 1 right. Kudos to you. Pathway 2 right. Kudos to you. The business is generating monies now. Kudos to you. What do you do with your excess liquidity? That's one stream of income. Who is talking to you about multiple streams of income for your business? What do you do with the excess liquidity? So on this platform, there is so much about global financial markets that you will understand, because this is a total different approach to help you to optimize your business financial income potential. It's a new and different approach to really position you to build wealth and to build it fast, based on what the science is saying, based on the best practices in the theory, and based on best practices in how you apply yourself to attain the objectives. What is Pathway 4 saying? Pathway 4 is really going to help you to understand the science, the theory, and practice of wealth management. So, you see, many persons accomplish a fair degree of success. But guess what happened? Because you didn't spend the time to understand how to manage your success, you lose everything. All right? You lose everything. And it really hurts, because in my life, I can recall looking at people, looking up at people for the level of accomplishments that they have achieved, and then only to recognize a few years later, they mismanage everything. They shoot 1,000 bullets in their legs. They cripple their financial potential and financial future and financial gain. That is utterly absurd. So what we do is ensure that you have the body of knowledge to know how to manage your gain. And we're not stopping there. All right. Pathway 5 is going to help you to understand the science, the theory, and the practice of wealth expansion. Because no one wants to be marking time as you create wealth. How do you expand it? So do you have the mindset for success, the mindset for growth? Do you have the right leadership style and habits to really position yourself to be exceptional as you set yourself out there to accomplish growth? So you're going to learn this and so much more. And what I'm going to say to you is that you have the potential to achieve greatness. All right. And this is not motivation. We're going to tell you what the science and theory and practice says about that. But you need to believe in yourself. We believe in you, but it's not enough for us to believe in you. You need to believe in yourself, that in spite of where you came from, in spite of where you're at, you have the ability to take your life into your hands and say to yourself, well, today I'm going to be the author, I'm going to be the maker, I'm going to be the shaper, I'm going to be the one molding my destiny. You owe it to yourself to believe in yourself. You owe it to yourself to take your life into your hands and make that commitment to take ownership over your life, ownership over your future. Guess what? You may be the leader of your home, you're a husband, you're about to be a husband, your wife depends on you. Your kids and future kids depends on you taking ownership over your life. You know, perhaps throughout your school and your education system, you might not have been taught about the importance of wealth. But on this program, we're going to tell you, because we believe that you deserve to understand the importance of wealth creation in today's world. You want to send your kids to the best universities. You can't send them with buttons and pins. You need disposable income to be able to do that. And the time to start thinking of disposable income to help your kids and offspring to get the best exposure to academics and to transformational educational platform is not when they're ready to go into the classroom. You need to start thinking about this long before there's a need for money. So we're going to help you with these programs to learn, apply, and master essential leadership and essential money habits. I'm going to pass to Master Frank now. All to you, Master Frank.
It's a master for me.
I have to give you a right title, my friend.
In leadership, there are some key essentials that will make you a great leader. When we talk about leadership on this platform, we're not just talking leadership because of just business.
Yeah.
Gary just rightly said you're leading your home, and you have to be the most effective leader in your home. Your business and how it grows depend how great a leadership you are as a family man, as a father, as a breadwinner. Because the experience you garner from that unit of family will propel you into the world of business. In a nutshell, leadership is a skill, and that skill can be learned and improved upon. And while some people may be born with natural leadership abilities, anyone can become an effective leader with the right tools and techniques. So it means that you have to be trained, you have to be mentored. And so by understanding essentials of leadership and practicing them regularly, you can become a great leader in your professional and personal life. So what are the leadership essentials of becoming a great leader? And I must hasten to say that one of the key essentials to become a great leader is to remember that leadership is a skill that can be learned and can be improved upon. Anyone can become a leader with the right tools and techniques. And some of the key essentials for leadership include 1, communication, 2, delegation, 3, problem solving, and there are many more. Being a good leader requires a lot of work and practice. It's not something that comes naturally to everyone. However, if we focus on developing our skills and learning as much as we can about leadership, we can all become that excellent leader. And communication is key. You see, one of the most important aspects of leadership is communication. As a leader, it is essential to be able to communicate with your team members and your stakeholders. So you need to be able to clearly articulate what are your visions and your goals and engage in meaningful dialogue with those around you. But then delegation is also important. So in addition to communication, effective leadership involves being able to delegate tasks effectively. Remember when you were home and tasks were delegated by your parents, they didn't even know that they were practicing leadership. Some people had to clean the house, some people had to work in the yard, and so that was delegated. That's delegation at its best. Leadership is not about doing everything yourself. It's about empowering others to succeed by assigning them appropriate responsibilities and ensuring that they have the resources they need to get the job done. Of course, problem solving is another key skill for leaders. I remember growing up when things were difficult. My mom somehow solved the problem of providing. Don't know what she did, but she made sure that whatever you're going through, what she showed me is that problems can be solved. With a little thinking, with a little work, they can be solved. So, as a leader, you'll be faced with challenges on a regular basis. And it's crucial to have strong problem solving skills in order to navigate these situations and navigate them successfully and find solutions that are the best interests of your team or organization as a whole. Whether you're dealing with a difficult customer or handling a crisis, being able to effectively solve problems is an essential leadership skill. You see, leadership is something that takes practice. And for you to become an excellent leader, it requires a lot of practice and dedication. It's not something you can master overnight. It's a journey. And the more you learn and grow as a leader, the better you'll become at leadership. And there are many resources available to help you on your leadership journey. So you just have to take advantage of them. So by focusing on these key essentials, you can become the great leader who is able to effectively communicate, effectively delegate, and solve problems and more, because it's a skill that takes time and practice to develop. But it's something that anyone, and I mean anyone, can achieve with the right mindset, the right attitude, the right approach. So if you're looking to become a leader, don't give up. You keep working at it and you'll be successful in no time. So how do you develop leadership skills? The best way to develop leadership skill is to learn as much as you can about a topic and then practice it and practice it and practice it and practice it. And there are many resources available to help you on your leadership journey. So make sure to take advantage of them. And here are a few tips for developing your leadership skills, leadership training, and that's one of the best ways to develop your leadership skill. You need to participate in leadership training. There are many excellent leadership programs available that can help you hone your skills and become a better leader. There are leadership books. It's another great way to develop your leadership skills is by reading leadership books. By the end of the year, I'll have 3 of them out there, and I'll give you access. There are many excellent books on leadership that can teach you everything you need to know about becoming a successful leader. But with seminars, there are always a leadership seminar, and which is a great option for developing that leadership skills. These events can provide you with valuable insights and information on becoming the successful leader. And of course, you'll need coaching and mentoring. And this is one final option for developing your leadership skills. Seek coaching, seek mentorship. A leadership coach can help you identify what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses as a leader, and provide you with guidance on how to improve. No matter which method you choose, the important thing is that you focus on learning as much as you can about leadership so that you can practice and develop your skills. Remember, leadership is a journey, not a destination. So keep growing as a leader and you'll be successful in no time. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Frank. I want to emphasize the importance of leadership. You know, I think that leadership has such importance to human sustainable development. I'm beginning to think that it should be an essential part of any learning curriculum. What I like about what we are doing, Frank, and we're about to do a lot of talking in the near future about the Science of Success University.
Mm-hmm.
And where we see the gaps is where we are building out this ecosystem of learning to fill those gaps that we believe will be able to give people a greater chance of attaining their dreams, hopes, and aspirations a greater chance of uh, getting on the pathway of self-actualization, getting on the pathway of building wealth. And leadership in of itself plays such a pivotal role in helping people to embrace a better quality of life in business or in life. What I want to do is just to add a little bit to your leadership thesis. And in our leadership programs, and of course, we collaborate as we work, there's a concept that we talk about, which is mastering your TOPAC. What TOPAC means, your targeted performance outcome. And let me talk about this a little bit. You see, in a business, when you develop your business strategic plan, is part of your TOPAC. When you develop your cash flow game plan, is part of your TOPAC, because sometimes you develop the business strategic plan, but the business strategic plan is not necessarily your cash flow game plan, and these things need to work together. What exactly am I saying here? I'm saying here that very often in your life, you don't have clear targeted performance outcome with your life. You have it for your business, perhaps to an extent. But do you apply this to your life? And I'm saying to you, you need this for your business and you need this for your life. Why? Because when you invest in yourself and in your life is what reflects in your business, not necessarily the business reflecting in your life. The foundation for success is you being prepared, because you can only give to the world what you're prepared to give to the world. If you're ill prepared in your leadership skill and how much you're pouring into you, there's only so much you can give to the world. So I'm going to talk about TOPAC, which is the targeted performance outcome, in 3 different contexts. Let me look at it from a business standpoint here. So you're a great leader. You're leading a business and you're leading your life. What are your targeted performance outcome? You want to be clear about this, because there are many persons you're doing things and you're not clear about the outcome. You're just in motion. And the last thing that you want to do in business or in life is to just be in motion. You want to be clear about what you want to accomplish at the end of the day. We call it defining the goal, because the only way you could measure the goal, the only way you could monitor the goal, the only way you can control your action towards achieving that goal is when you understand what you're going after. But if you're not clear about it, how can you control your activities towards achieving the goal? So understanding the TOPAC is what's going to set you up for success in business. In business context, you're going to be asking yourself, first of all, how do I want to impact the ideal client? Perhaps the ideal client might need to access capital. Do you have the value offer to help the ideal client to achieve that objective? Perhaps the ideal client wants to expand their business profile across geography. So they want to go to various parts of the world. Can you deliver on those expectations in a business context? Perhaps the ideal client wants to know how to mitigate capital. Can you achieve these targeted performance outcomes? Because in business, while it's about what you want to accomplish, if you're not focusing on how to impact the ideal client, all right, and have clear targeted performance for the ideal client, something is wrong. It's another reason why you're going to fail. So as you look at your targeted performance outcome, you're asking yourself, how do I want to impact my ideal client? And you should have a list of things. Why you have a list? Because you're defining what you want to accomplish. Why? Because you are measuring what you want to accomplish. You are monitoring what you want to accomplish. And you are controlling. You're using control mechanism to ensure that you achieve your targeted performance outcome when it comes to impacting your team, impacting the ideal client. So again, let's look at the targeted performance outcome. The targeted performance outcome has another equation, and that is how do you want to impact your corporate life? So this, you're bringing it home, you're bringing it to the business. What impact do you want to have with your business? So you're providing, products and services above and beyond the client's expectation. You're achieving that TOPAC. Now, what do you want for the business? Perhaps you want to expand locally. Perhaps you want to expand, nationally. Perhaps you want to expand regionally, and perhaps you want to expand internationally. What are your targeted performance outcomes? If you are not clear about these things as a leader, it's one of the reasons why you're not going to achieve the objective that you're going after, because you don't have clear targeted performance outcome. You're just in motion. And that's the last thing that you want to do as a great leader. You want to have clear targeted performance outcome. The last one, and I'm going to talk briefly about this. You see, when you address the first objectives, satisfying the needs, wants, and expectations of the ideal client, it has a ripple effect. In most cases, it sets you up to achieve your corporate objectives. It sets you up to achieve your corporate objectives. And then, because you're achieving the corporate objective, the corporate TOPAC, you're now able to achieve the personal TOPAC. Now, what exactly is the personal targeted performance outcome? The targeted performance outcome in this respect is that by default, you're going to have more disposable income. You're going to have the power of delegation. You're going to have the ability to, because of the power of delegation, to perhaps apply the 20-80 rule, where you delegate 80% out and you have 20% and you have some more time to spend with family. So you have all of these ripple effects that you're going to be learning from these programs, and we will work with you to ensure that you understand them. So Pathway 5 is the program that I'm talking from today. And Pathway 5 is going to set you up for success. I'm going to turn to Master Frank, and when we come back, we're going to begin to start doing some wrapping up. But in the wrap up, I want to talk a little bit about some important concepts that you need to know. Master Frank, all to you, my friend.
All right, thank you, Gary. And like all public servants, there's always something to do. So I will talk and wrap up at the same time.
All right,
I want to share some leadership tips for success, just some nuggets. Becoming a successful leader is not easy.
No.
It is never easy, but if you have the right approach and a commitment to learning, you can achieve great things. And so I just want to leave a few tips for becoming that successful leader. Authenticity is the key. And it's the most important thing to remember as a leader. Be authentic. Do not try to be someone you're not. Just be yourself and let your natural leadership qualities shine through. People will respect and admire you more if you're genuine and honest, and they'll be more likely to follow your lead. I say follow your lead, you need to lead by example. It's another key tip for being a successful leader. If you want your team or organization to achieve great things, you need to set an example and show them what it takes to be successful. Lead by example and show that you're dedicated to your work and passionate about your goals, and then you inspire others. The most important part of a great leader is the ability to inspire others. And if you can manage to motivate and inspire your team, they'll be more likely to achieve great things. And so you try to share your vision for the future and get the team excited about working towards your goals. At the same time, you have to be open-minded, which is another important quality for leaders. It's important to listen to other people's ideas and perspectives, even if you don't agree with them. You see, by Being open-minded, you can learn from others and make better decisions for your team organization. And then you need to be decisive. Any successful leader is a decisive one. You see, when you're in charge, you need to be able to make tough decisions, and you can make it quickly. If you hesitate or second guess yourself, people will lose confidence in your ability to lead. So when it comes to decision making, trust your instincts and go with your gut. And these are just a few qualities that successful leaders possess. If you can work on developing these, you'll be well on your way to becoming a great leader. And there are a lot of quotes that I have come across. One, I don't know who the writer is, but say a good leader leads from the front, but a great leader leads from the heart. Ernest Hemingway said the best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. Robert Kiyosaki says, people don't follow titles, they follow courage. My mentor, John Maxwell, says leadership is not about titles, it's about or positions or flow charts. It's about one life influencing another. John Quincy Adams, one of the dead presidents, says, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. And finally, from Mahatma Gandhi, from Douglas MacArthur says, a true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the equality of his actions and the integrity of his intent. I hope you would have listened. And there are so many more quotes on leadership, but this is what I want to leave with you today. I trust that as you take leadership seriously, remember it's not a destination, it's a journey. You will never be able to complete the point of becoming the perfect leader. It's a process that never ends. I want to thank you for listening. Be good to yourselves. Have a blessed day.
Great share, Frank. I really love the gem. And you know what I love about what you said? I mean, it's the fact that many persons struggle in making leadership decisions. They
Yes, that's
struggle
true.
in the execution. And I think one of the reasons that they struggle with this, Frank, is because it is not introduced to them early enough in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not, properly socialized to leadership mindset, taught leader
Yeah.
mindset. And what we're going to do at the Science of Success University from the get-go, I mean, I can see your content is right in front of them. So they understand this in theory, they understand this in practice, and they
Mm-hmm.
could better apply those tools to, accelerate their growth. All right. So I really love that. And I want to say to the public, we have so much that is going to be coming up for you very soon. Keep following us. I want to encourage you to subscribe. We have over 40,000 persons subscribing to two of our channels, and we are reaching over 50 countries. So I want to thank our viewers from the depths of our heart for supporting this community. Frank, just before you go, I want to say something very quickly. As a great leader, as a rising star in the leadership platform, I want to emphasize this. You need to master your MVO. What do I mean by MVO? Find your minimum viable offer or your most viable offer. Your minimum viable offer means that you're going to the market with one thing. That can be that you're training yourself to become, an influencer. That's a minimum viable offer. Or perhaps you're training yourself to become, a global influencer. That might be reaching, top 500 businesses to take them global. Whatever it is, I want you to focus on one thing, because very often as a rising star in business, you have so much a great idea, and I love you for having all the great ideas, but find one thing. And as you master the one, you expand. All right. So those are just some tips that I want to leave today. Frank, you have dropped some nuggets. Frank, I don't know if you want to give us just some tips on the book that is about to be released. so the audience can have some ideas about it.
The book is all about being that successful leader in whatever area you're being planted. The book is about helping you as a leader to be agile. You can be able to shift from one industry to the other with the skills that you would have learned or have acquired over the years. We look at how you go into a new society and how you adapt to the laws and the culture of the society and still become a successful leader. The way Japan does leadership is different from where the Western world does leadership. And so you have to be cognizant of the fact that cultures are influencing leadership, and you going into whatever culture you're going into has got to be cognizant of the fact that you're in a new culture, and how you portray yourself in that culture is essential for you becoming the best leader you can be. So the book is all about that and so much more.
Great. Can't wait to get that book. Thanks for that share, Frank. And to the audience, today's Wednesday, today's Thursday. So we are quickly coming into the end of the week. I trust that you have learned a lot from being with us this week. And we'll do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow we want to do a deep introspection on, personality traits and self-mastery. So I want to encourage you to join us to learn some more about how to position yourself to master who you are. This is about taking ownership over your life and recognize that you have the ability to set goals and go after it. And we'll definitely be giving you some tools and tips and tricks to accomplish that. So with that, I want to thank Frank for being here. Frank is an economist by profession. He is a leader by practice, and he's about to release his new book. I just can't wait to get my hands on that book. And I want to encourage you, start getting prepared to get that book from Frank when it is released. So with that being said, I want to say, have a great day, my friends. We do this tomorrow.
All right, bye-bye.